Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to tape a drywall joint. So here we have two joints. Here is known as the bevel joint, and this is when the two factory edges of a drywall joint meet up. It sinks in or recesses for the last approximately 2 inches. So on a joint, the whole area recesses in, so you can put your tape in there, mud it, and it's still flat with the wall. However, this is called a butt joint, and the butt joint does not have a recessed area. So the process to tape each type of joint will be slightly different. Okay, so you're going to want to work with either an all-purpose mud or a mud formulated for drywall taping. Okay, so I know a lot of people call it drywall compound, and that's correct, as it's a complex mixture of polyvinyl acetates and limestone and whatever. But just for the sake of brevity in my videos, I'm going to be referring to it just as mud. Okay, so I'm starting with a 5-inch knife. You could also use a 6-inch, even an 8-inch. And I'm going to be showing you the techniques that would be most easiest for a do-it-yourselfer. So I get some mud on the pan like that, and then I put it like this. I put my finger right here, and then I spread it that way. Next, I grab some more. Now I position the knife like that, and I got my finger there. Now notice when I'm doing this that I have the knife almost parallel with the wall. I don't have it like this. If you had it like this, you're going to scrape mud off. When you have it low and parallel with the wall, you actually just, it applies the mud easier and smooths it easier. So I got the mud there. I might do one more like that. Okay, so now we have a nice even coat of mud across the joint, and it's thick right through, see? We don't have any area where the drywall is exposed. It's just a thick layer of mud straight through. Because if you have any area that doesn't have a nice thick layer before you put the tape on, you're going to get a bubble joint. And that's the #1 mistake that I see from do-it-yourselfers and people new to drywall is bubbles behind their tape. And that's why. They just didn't have that smooth thickness of mud before they put the tape on. Okay, so we are going to use paper tape. Paper tape is the professional tape. Don't use the fiber tape. You'll just have problems. So notice with tape you have a crease down the middle, and your crease will naturally want to fold one way. So this tape kind of wants to fold that way. So you need to identify your tape and the way that it wants to fold. Ideally, put it so that the outside crease goes towards the wall. So put the tape on, cut it with your finger, and now that tape is on. Okay, so now for the wiping part, I like to use a broader knife. This one has a long handle, but as long as you just have a wide blade, that's all that matters. Whether it has a long handle or not, doesn't matter. Okay, so then, now we're just trying to get that excess mud off. There, that's it. So now notice, behind the tape, we have lots and lots of drywall compound behind there. And that's all that compound that's gonna keep it glued in place. Okay, so next for the butt joint. Okay, ideally you're gonna wanna do the butt joints first. just because of how they join together here. You'll have less of a bump there, but just in this video I did the bevel joint first. So when you're doing this yourself, just try to do the butt joints first, but it doesn't really make a huge difference. Okay, so same thing, but there's going to be a little change. So you're going to put the mud on like that. Okay, so here's where it's a little different. Still going to put the tape on like normal. But now when we come to wipe it, we got to be a little more careful, because on a bevel joint, because the tape is recessed in there, when we put our broad knife on there, the broad knife, no matter how hard you push, you can't get all the mud from underneath the tape because it's kind of safe inside that bevel. A butt joint is not inside the bevel, so you could actually over wipe it, where you've wiped out too much mud from underneath the tape, and now there's just no glue holding it in place, so it's be much more highly likely to crack or peel or even just fall off. That would be rare. That would be only if you were like really like muscle every last little bit of mud from behind the tape. Don't do that. Just wipe it clean. Wipe it flat, but don't try muscling every last little bit of mud out. Okay, so I've wiped it nice. Here it's nice and clean, but when I look behind it, there's still plenty of drywall compound or mud behind that to keep it glued in place. So you want to pick that right compromise between having it flat and also still having mud behind there to keep it in place.